Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka aDrive. You guys, week 5 of the GBA. The New York Metapods are taking on the Boston Red Sawks and coach SuperBlah, my good friend Nick. If you guys missed the pregame press conference or team builder, definitely check that out in the description below, or in case on the annotation of the screen, the little card there. And I do just want to address a couple things here, guys. We've obviously got off to a bit of a rough start this season, going 1-3. I've seen some negative comments. I've seen a lot of positive comments too. And I appreciate the positivity, but for the negativity, guys, just know that every single match, man, I try my best to win. I don't play a lot of Pokemon battles. I do a few battles a week. I try to have a lot of fun this season. Things haven't been going as well as I would like, but we're going to try our best, man. We're going to try to win every single match and hopefully pick up some W's and make our way back into this playoff race. And if it doesn't work out that way, then it doesn't work out that way, man. I can only control so much. It's a game of skill and preparation, and there's some luck involved. And last week's match, we had, you know, a couple damage rolls that had we just got a tiny bit more damage, we would have won the game. So, you know, there's some things you just can't control, and you know what I mean. I'm just trying to keep a positive outlook and just have some fun with these matches, and this match should be a lot of fun against SuperBlah. He's got a great team. He's 2-2 so far, I believe, this season, and he's a division rival, so we gotta win this one. Winning this one puts us right back in our division race, so we just gotta win this one, and hopefully we can pick up a W. I talked about my team in the pregame. We got a question of the day today. We're facing Kieran Black, but what do you guys think is the scariest offensive threat in the draft league format? Kieran Black is most certainly on that list. The thing is an absolute monster wall breaker. But you guys let me know in the comment section below what your favorite is. And of course, see if we can get 1,500 likes, guys. Hopefully we can bounce back and make some playoff race happen. Mr. Metapod's hyped. He's ready. He's dancing in the bottom corner. He's in my hands and my desk. We're going to make this happen. So let me connect with Nick, and we're going to get this match going here momentarily. All right, guys, we are connected here with Nick. We're going to find out exactly what his team is. A lot of things on his team I'm not sure if he's going to bring. So I did a little bit of a guessing game there, and it looks like I pretty much nailed things. He does not bring the Rhydon, however, but does bring the Meowstic. So very interesting to see that, actually. Kind of very surprised to see the Meowstic, but that's okay. It is the male one as well. So pretty much brings everything I expected. Actually, we actually nailed his team down a little bit better than I thought. Meowstic, he's got Darmanitan, and he's got Skarmory, Venusaur, Meowstic, and he does bring the Pangoro. I figured the Pangoro would be coming just because it's such a huge offensive threat. So potential leads on his end. He could lead with that Skarmory trying to get his rocks up. Could lead with Scarf Darmanitan as well. So a couple different options there. I actually really like my potential Rotom lead to simply Volt Switch out. I also like my Ferrothorn lead if he does not lead with the Darmanitan, but the Darmanitan lead is very, very likely, so I do have to be very careful there. I think my Rotom lead is pretty solid here, so I think that's probably what I should do, because I could Volt Switch out on pretty much everything. If he leads with the Meowstic, I could probably work around that. I could Volt Switch out. I know I could take like an Energy Ball or something like that. Actually, Jet wouldn't be a bad idea either. I could simply just Volt Switch out. I do reveal that I'm Scarfed at that point, but I could Volt Switch out, go straight into our Victini, and then hit something pretty hard if that's the case. That's actually not a bad idea. I like that, in case he leads with Darmanitan. I like the idea of leading Flygon here. It'll give us some momentum, hopefully, in this match, and I could always fire off a big hit. Is that what I want to do? I think that's what I'm going to do, because I think I could just U-turn out on the first turn. I got to break a Sturdy anyway on his Skarmory, and if he leads with that Meowstic to set up screens, this gives me an opportunity to U-turn out. I can go to Victini, hit something pretty hard, or I can defog with Flygon, get rid of those screens. You can do a couple different things. So we'll see how this works here. I really like my Dragalge in this match. Dragalge has an opportunity to kill some things, you know, with Draco Meteors on that Venusaur. So he's going to lead with Firestorm, which is going to be his Darmanitan. Great opportunity for us. I do get that lead matchup I was expecting. I can simply Earthquake here if I want to, or I could go for the U-turn for momentum. I don't know what he's going to do. He could easily go into his Skarmory, and we'll lose our momentum right there. I do think our safest play, though, is to go for the U-turn right off the bat, as he's probably not going to want to risk the fact that we're Scarfed, because if he stays in to go for U-turn and we're Scarfed and we Earthquake, we actually knock out his Darmanitan right off the bat. So I'm gonna make the safe play here, simply go for a U-turn. If he stays in, then you know that's just an early prediction. I don't want to chance. I'd rather get the U-turn damage off on the Skarmory and go from there. He is gonna switch out here, most likely into that Skarmory, I would guess. Here comes Katana. Is that his Skarmory? That is going to be a Skarmory, which is, of course, super duper bulky. We're going to be able to hit this U-turn here. I don't think this is going to do too much, but we are going to break the Sturdy. We'll see if he's leftovers or not here momentarily. This is an opportunity for me to go into my Victini now, and Victini can hit something incredibly hard with a V-Create if that's the way I want to go, and that is most likely the way we're going to go. We are going straight into Victini here. We're going to hit something hard. If he does not have the leftovers, which he does not show leftovers, we are clicking V-Create here, and something is going to take a ginormous hit, and that was the plan here. I have nothing nothing to worry about. I just click V-Create. If he's got the Oka Berry, that's fine. I want to hit something very, very hard with this V-Create, and nothing on his team wants to take it, actually. We are Charcoal. We're going to be able to get this V-Create off, and this should put a big dent on something. Even if it's the Darmanitan, we're going to put a big dent on that. And since he doesn't have the, he doesn't have Sturdy intact right now, we should be able to knock him out with a V-Create. I'm not even going to bother checking the calc on the, well, I guess I should. I mean, I already picked my move, but we'll take a look real quick just out of curiosity. But I would imagine Skarmory's not going to take that. So he actually is going to pop his berry here. So he does have an Oka Berry. So that's going to allow him to live this V-Create. But we are going to do a tremendous amount of damage to him, as you can see. We do over half to him. That will pop his berry, though. And he might be able to go for, like, you know, a Pursuit or something like that. He's probably just going to go for Tailwind. So he's going to get the Tailwind up here, try to boost his team speed. I really lose nothing by going for another V-Create, though. Because realistically, even a Brave Bird from this thing really isn't going to do too much to us. And I know I could take the hit and potentially get rid of his Skarmory. So he could go into his Darmanitan, but I think my V-Create is definitely the best play here, even with the Tailwind. He is going to Brave Bird us. So that is going to bring down our Victini a good amount, especially since we have the -1 defense. But I think we could live it without a problem. And we do live it without a problem. And this V-Create is going to knock out the Skarmory. So getting rid of the Skarmory is huge for us. Victini kills Skarmory with V-Create, and that is actually huge. That's the gonna be the second turn of Tailwind, I believe. And I believe Tailwind lasts for 4 turns, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Let me take a look here. Tailwind in Pokemon, I think, is 4 turns. So that would have been 2 turns. The turn he said it, and then that turn would have been 2. Tailwind, I believe, does last 4 turns. So we've got 2 more turns of Tailwind. And he has an opportunity to go in his Pangoro now. He can do a lot of things. He can hit us pretty hard with anything at this point. So we do have to be very careful about the way we go. But Flygon has now had his door open. Flygon is a much more effective Pokemon in this match now that we have gotten rid of that Skarmory. So Victini has done a lot of work there. But Victini can hopefully do some more work, I think, because I can get in on that Venusaur. I know I outspeed the Darmanitan, or I'm sorry, I know I outspeed the Kyurem, and I'm expecting that Darmanitan to be Choice Scarfed. Here comes Bane, which is his Kyurem. So here's a tough decision for me to go for here. The problem is he can easily knock me out if he attacks me, but I'm really worried that he's going to have Substitute, guys. That's my biggest concern here. So because I think he could have a Substitute Kyurem, and I do not want to risk him having a Substitute on his Kyurem, I do need to stay in here. I cannot switch out, guys. I have to stay in and go for the V-Create, because if he goes for Substitute here and gets a free Substitute on us, it's going to be very hard for me to win this match. So I'm pretty sure that's my best play. Victini has a lot of viability, but I can beat the Venusaur without Victini. I could beat everything else on his team without it. I think I need to stay in and just go for the V-Create, guys, because of that Substitute. He's going to Earth Power. I could have saved Victini, but again, it wasn't worth me risking that. So Kyurem kills Victini with Earth Power. So we see the Earth Power on that. Let me make some notes here. So we did see that, and we do see Life Orb. So that's really good news for us that he's got Life Orb and he's got Earth Power. Okay, so that leads me to believe he's probably got some special investment. So here's what I can do now. I can go into our Flygon, and I can click Outrage if I want to, and that would actually knock this thing out. The problem is I get locked into Outrage, but I can go into Flygon and I can U-turn out. I can also go into Voltergeist here and potentially take a hit, go for a Will-O-Wisp and burn something. Nothing on his team really wants to take a Will-O-Wisp at this point, except for maybe the Darmanitan. But if he's fully specially offensive, we might have to be a little careful there. I could also go into Blueberry. He might be fearing me to be Scarfed. How much does Fake Out plus... and I know he actually still has 1 more turn of Tailwind. I have to remember that as well. So maybe me going into my my Medicham is the best play here, because Fake Out plus Bullet Punch actually is going to do a tremendous amount of damage to him, and I can kind of scare him out with that. I can't go into Flygon because of the Tailwind. I could go into Ivy here, potentially go for a Gyro Ball, which could potentially knock him out. Let me take a quick check on that calc there. If I do go into my Ferrothorn, I know I could live a hit, and Gyro Ball does enough to knock him out at this range, so I could do that as well, but then I lose my my Ferrothorn for a lot of the match. But I think that's our best play. I think our best play is to go into our Ferrothorn here and go for the Gyro Ball. I have to be very, very cautious here because of how offensive this thing can be. So I am just going to go for that Gyro Ball. I could go for a Thunder Wave, but I think Gyro Ball is the proper play here. He could have the HP Fire, but we do have the Oka Berry just in case. So this is my play. He might Scout, he might switch, but Gyro Ball is my play. So let's see what he's going to do here. I think he's got 1 more turn of Tailwind. This is his last turn. It's a good thing I remember the Tailwind, because if I went into Flygon there, that would have been a very poor decision. I would have lost Flygon, and that would have been really dumb. So he's going to switch. Could have went for the T-Wave, which would have been nice in the Darmanitan, but here comes Poison Ivy, which is his Venusaur. Obviously, we're going to see the Venusaur come in here, and this is a free switch in for my Dragalge. And Dragalge can fire off some pretty big hits. This is a good switch in for my Dragalge here. That actually did a lot of damage. I'm thinking this thing might be kind of offensive after that damage. Let me take a look, actually. That looks like a lot of damage, unless it was a crit. I honestly didn't see it, guys, unfortunately, but let me take a look here. Should have done about 35%. Yeah, he might have some speed investment on this thing. Okay, so we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful, but I think my best play here is to go into my Dragalge. And if he predicts that and goes for an Earthquake, props to him, but I gotta get Dragalge in here and I can fire off a Dragon Pulse and hit something really, really hard with this thing. Or I could actually just Draco. He's gonna Mega Evolve, of course. I think Draco Meteor might be the play, but we'll see. We'll see what he does. He might Synthesis up as well. That's another option, but HP Fire is pretty likely. He is going to Synthesis up, so that gives me some good intel on this thing. So we see the Synthesis, and now we've got our Dragalge sitting right here. And Dragalge against Mega Venusaur, I could drop a Draco right now, and it is going to do a tremendous amount of damage to anything that wants to stay in here. I don't think there's anything he could switch in. The problem is if he could stall me out of Synthesis, or he can stall me out of Dracos if he clicks Synthesis over and over again. But I don't know if that's a risk he's willing to take. That's only if he's max HP, which he probably is. I think Dragon Pulse might be the safer play. Nothing on his team really wants to take a Dragon Pulse. How does Pangoro take the Dragon Pulse? I could also Sludge Wave too, but I think Dragon Pulse is probably the best play here. Dragon Pulse destroys a lot of things. Sludge Wave hits everything on his team except for the Kyurem. Super effective. Well, let me see how much Sludge Wave does to Kyurem. Sludge Wave actually could knock out the Kyurem Black as well, especially at the range he's at. So I'm thinking Sludge Wave might be my best play here. As much as I want to drop a Draco Meteor, I think being able to beat this Venusaur with multiple Sludge Waves is probably my best play. So I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave here. His Skarmory's gone. Really nothing on his team wants to take it, except for me. Let me just check Pangoro really quick. Can Pangoro take the Sludge Wave? I doubt it. It's not going to take a Sludge Wave. We're just going to click Sludge Wave here. He's going to switch, so we're going to get a big Sludge Wave off on something. Maybe it's the Meowstic. Here comes Zatara, which is probably the Meowstic. That is the Meowstic. It is not going to like this Sludge Wave, though. It is not going to like this Sludge Wave. It's going to do a lot of damage. It's just going to... Oh, he's got the Focus Sash. All right. I thought I was going to just knock him out, but he was Focus Sash. But we get the poison with the Sludge Wave. Is my luck turning around? Oh, my goodness. Dragalge kills Meowstic with poison from Sludge Wave. Oh, my goodness. I just feel like the luckiest person in the world for having that happen. Wow. Okay, so we got rid of the Meowstic. That is absolutely huge for us, because that keeps him from potentially setting up screens or doing something like that. That is huge, 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 huge. He's got no switch-ins for Dragalge. He can go into his Kyurem right now, but I do have Rotom, which can come in, and I could Volt Switch out or potentially burn it. In fact, I can actually start spreading Will-O-Wisps around, which would be pretty nice. And I do have the Medicham. Once that Kyurem's a little bit weaker, Medicham becomes more viable. Gotta watch out for that Pangoro, but we're slowly weakening his team here for Flygon. And we're getting into the point where I can start clicking Earthquake. So that Sludge Wave is huge there, man. I really surprised. But here comes Bane, which is that Kyurem Black, of course. Now, I'm expecting him to go for a Dragon type move here, in all honesty. Ivy is a very risky play. Because if he goes for the... Do I need Ivy still? Ivy is probably actually my least useful member. So I'm going to go to Ivy. I think Ivy's my least useful member at this point in time. And I know I could bring this thing in, and if he doesn't show the HP Fire, we're going to be good. But if he goes for HP Fire here, just props to him on the play. He might go for... He's going to go for the Ice Beam. So he is especially offensive, this Kyurem Black, for sure. And you're going to see I can take that, but... And we get the freeze, so a little payback for that... a little payback there. That freeze is definitely unfortunate, man, but... what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He gets the freeze hacks, but again, that's really the payback there for the poison. I don't know which one's worse, but can I live in HP Fire at this range from especially offensive Kyurem Black? Let's take a look. Kyurem Black, let's see here. He does about 52% to us, so he looks like to be the standard specially offensive variant. If he has Hidden Power Fire, does he knock us out at this range? Doesn't look like he does. I'm gonna take the chance here that I could live the hit. I'm gonna go for the, I'm actually gonna go for the Gyro Ball again. I can go for the T-Wave too. T-Wave would be good. But actually, 145 times 0.25. He's actually faster than me if I T-Wave, so I have to Gyro Ball. and I just have to hope that I can break out. He's gonna switch out, so we actually have a free turn to hopefully break out of this freeze here, and he is gonna go into his Pangoro, very, very scary Pokemon, and we're still frozen solid. Not good for us. This is not good for us to be frozen solid here. I am going to likely just stay in here and let him take us out, I think, at this point, because I could potentially try to scout out what kind of set this thing is. So I'm gonna go for a, on the off chance he predicts a switch here, I'm simply gonna go for a T-Wave, I think. It's probably our best play. Although Stealth Rocks would be pretty nice too. Let's actually go for the Stealth Rocks. On the off chance he predicts me to switch out here, but I'm frozen, so there's not a whole lot I can do about that, unfortunately. And then I think my next play after this is to likely go into Flygon. I can U-turn out on this thing. I can also go into Rotom, potentially burn something. Nothing on his team really wants to get burned. Here comes the Hammer Arm. That is most certainly going to knock us out, but he's going to take Iron Barb's damage at least. So let's take a look at him. So Pangoro kills Pharaoh. Thorn with Hammer Arm. And the beautiful thing about him going for Hammer Arm there, guys, is now I 100% know I will outspeed him with our Metacham. So Metacham comes in here and gets to click High Jump Kick and something dies, I'm pretty sure. Because I know he's -1 speed now, so I really lose nothing by going into Metacham and just clicking High Jump Kick here, unless he has Protect, but I don't anticipate that to be the case. So I am going to High Jump Kick. If he goes into Venusaur, I can just simply Zen Headbutt the following turn, and then he's got to play Speed Shenanigan games with his Pangoro. So I'm going to click High Jump Kick here. That's my play. And if he switches into Venusaur again, I know I could Zen Headbutt the following turn. And we can kind of play some games there. If this thing is not... If this Pangoro is not Scarfed, which I don't think it is because I think his Darmanitan is Scarfed, Blueberry should be able to put in some work here. And he's Hammer Arm, so you wouldn't run Hammer Arm on a Scarfed Pangoro. That doesn't really make sense. So I don't think he's Scarfed at this point in time. But our High Jump Kick here is going to put in some serious work. Nothing on his team wants to take this. The only thing that could take this hit is Venusaur, but if I predict that and go for Zen Headbutt, and even so, I should win the speed tie with Venusaur because I'm max speed. I could simply go for a Zen Headbutt at that point too. So, and I believe that will definitely knock out the Venusaur. I mean, I would guess. He is going to just take that High Jump Kick to the face, so we're going to pick up that kill there. That is huge for us. So Metacham kills Pangoro with High Jump Kick. So very, very good stuff there. That's what I like to see. He sees that we're Life Orb, so he knows that now. Here comes Firestorm, which is his Darmanitan. He could simply go for a U-turn here, but my play is to go into our Rotom. I have to go into our Rotom here to take the hit. It's not really worth me risking Blueberry at this point. Blueberry still has some viability with that Bullet Punch to hit the Kyurem. We weaken that thing a little bit more. A Fake Out plus Bullet Punch could actually knock Kyurem out after one more Life Orb hit. So we got to be very, very careful. I think Rotom is the play. If he Volt Switches into Venusaur, that's fine. Again, or if he U-turns into Venusaur, I'm sorry, that's fine. I just go into Dragalge again. We'll have a little switch battle back and forth, but either way, Metacham is very valuable here, and the weaker I get his Pokemon, speaking like specifically about his Kyurem, gotta get the Kyurem a little weaker, gotta get the Venusaur a little bit weaker, and once we do that, man, Flygon can clean up here, so we're actually getting pretty close to that point. I think Flygon actually is getting really close to that point. How much does Flygon do to a Scarfed Darmanitan with the Outrage? Outrage actually almost knocks him out, so if we weaken him a little bit here, we have that opportunity. So here comes our Rotom, very obvious switch. He's gonna simply go for the U-turn, so I'm not surprised to see that. He is most likely Scarfed. That was not a risk I was willing to take there, that he wasn't gonna U-turn. I really had to make the play in a Rotom. Here comes the Venusaur I'm sure of. I'm sure the Venusaur's coming. Unless his Venusaur has a ton of speed investment, which I don't think it does, it might have enough to try to outpace our Rotom. That would be the only thing here. I think what I should do, I mean, my obvious play is to go into Dragalge for the Venusaur, because realistically, Venusaur's not going to touch with Dragalge, but if he predicts that and goes into Kyurem, then I lose a Pokemon, and I don't want to have that happen, because I still need my Rotom for the Darmanitan. I don't want to lose any Pokemon here, so I might, if the Venusaur comes in, I might have to, here comes Bane, he actually goes into the Kyurem instead, which is fine by me. What I can do now is I can get a slow Volt Switch off here, take the hit from this thing. As much as I don't want to take the hit, I could take the hit from this thing and go out into my, oh man, this is going to hit really hard, whatever he goes for here. It could be like a Draco Meteor. I don't have a switch into this, so I got to stay in here with Voltergeist. I have to. So I got to get the damage off. I think my best play here is either to Pain Split or Volt Switch. Because the thing is, once I weaken that Venusaur, Flygon actually kind of wins again. So that's another thing. I think I could live any one hit from this thing. Let me look. Kyurem Black. Let me just take a look at Kyurem's moveset really quickly. I don't think he gets a grass coverage move, but I could be wrong there. I mean, Earth Power. Oh, does Terra Volt negate Earth Power? I think Terra Volt negates Earth Power. So reduce. Yeah, I think Terra Volt negates Earth Power. So he could actually knock us out right now with an Earth Power, guys. But I don't really think there's anything I can do about it. I think I gotta just take the chance here. It's not worth me losing one of my other Pokemon. I think it's worth me saving worth me letting Voltergeist go down here to give me a free switch into our Jet. That's an option. Or a free switch into Blueberry, which can fake out and then Bullet Punch. So a couple options there. I think what I gotta do is I just gotta let him go down. I'm gonna go for the Pain Split here on the off chance that we live, which will weaken him enough. He is gonna go for the Earth Power. Obviously, the Terra Volt does hit us. Hopefully, we can live this hit. It's gonna be very close. I believe it's a damage roll, and we do not live. So it was a damage roll though, 85 to 100% max special attack life orb. So nothing I could do there. That was a damage roll. So we lost that one. Kyurem kills Rotom Wash with Earth Power. Okay, now my play is to go into Blueberry. Fake Out plus Bullet Punch does knock him out at this point. The other play would be going into Jet, but I think Blueberry is the better play. Blueberry beats 2 out of his 3 last Pokemon. The problem is the Darmanitan. I don't have switch-ins to Darmanitan anymore. So, a little bit tricky there. Flygon can come in and go for the Outrage, which is pretty nice. I don't think Earthquake kills at this range, though. Let me take a look. I doubt it. I doubt Flygon kills at this range. I kind of want to run the clock down, too. But, not because I'm trying to timer stall or anything, but Outrage does knock him out. The problem is Outrage isn't going to be enough to knock out the Venusaur. It's only gonna do like 40%, so I really gotta go to Blueberry here. I gotta go to Blueberry. We gotta go Fake Out. Even if Darmanitan comes in, which is his proper play here, well, that was the best switch he can make is Darmanitan. I feel like I just gotta go for the Fake Out. I can't risk it. I gotta go for Fake Out. If he goes into Darmanitan, we'll have to play with it. We'll have to go into Dragalge and just hope for the best, but this one's coming down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. He's probably going to go into his Darmanitan. But I can't risk going for a high jump kick right here. That would be ridiculous. That would be a really weird play if I just high jump kick. Because I lose Metacham if I just high jump kick right now. So I can't do that. But what I can do is I can Fake Out. Fake Out plus Bullet Punch should be enough. So yeah, I mean, Fake Out does about 20. Bullet Punch does about 50-ish, so we're looking at about 60. It's close. It's close whether that's going to be enough. It is close whether that's enough. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. Almost, man. We're almost there. Okay. All right. We gotta see what he's gonna do here. Fake Out's definitely my play though, because we'll hit everything. He's not gonna go into Venusaur. He can go into the Darmanitan, but then we get chip damage on Darmanitan, and that might open the door actually for Outrage from our Flygon. That could open the door for Outrage. If we get that little bit of chip damage with the Fake Out on the Darmanitan, that could make it enough for Outrage to be the kill that we need it to be on the Kyurem. Because we gotta Outrage the Venusaur, but I gotta get a little bit lower. I gotta get the Venusaur a little lower. He is gonna switch most likely into Darmanitan, potentially Venusaur, but most likely Darmanitan. That is the play. I really wanted the high jump kick there, guys. It just was too risky, man. It was just too risky. So we do get the damage we need there. Our play now is Dragalge. I believe. The problem is he's gonna just U-turn. If he just wants to U-turn us right now, we just lose. We just die. But that was enough damage there. I gotta go into Dragalge here. And then I need Flygon to click some Outrages. That Venusaur can stall us out though with Synthesis, which makes that challenging. This is a very tough play here. If I click high jump kick there, man, that was high risk, high reward, but it was too risky, I think. I don't think I could live a hit from this thing. I don't think I could live a hit from a Darmanitan. Not a U-turn anyway. I could live a U-turn. I'm not living a Flare Blitz though. If he Flare Blitzes us, he could just U-turn us here. Is he gonna U-turn? This is a tough play. This is my answer to Kyurem. I do still have the ability to go with Flygon there. Dragalge has a lot of usefulness against the Venusaur if I can get it in. But Medicham has more usefulness because it can beat the Kyurem. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna U-turn here? I think he's gonna U-turn, man. He's been U-turning the whole game. If he Flare Blitzes us, then Flygon comes in and clicks Earthquake a few times. Oh man, I think I have to go to Dragalge, but I think I'm gonna stay in here and go for the Zen Headbutt, guys. I think I got a Zen Headbutt here. I think the U-turn is too likely for him to U-turn. This is one of those plays, man. I gotta make the play. I'm gonna go for Zen Headbutt. He's gonna Flare Blitz. I should have went to Dragalge. Man, what are you gonna do? Okay. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. We go into our Flygon here. Flygon can kill some things now. Go into our Flygon. And no point in going to Dragalge right now. I think Flygon is the better play. I'm just gonna U-turn, I think. Actually, if I U-turn and he goes for Flare Blitz, how much does Flare Blitz do to Dragalge? Oh man, I can't believe that play right there. That was... Had to take the chance, though, I feel like. Flare Blitz is about 50% to Dragalge. So, Darmanitan kills Medicham. Okay. I just feel like his Venusaur is too high of health for Flygon to put in enough work here. Outrage just doesn't do enough. It's so close. It's so close. I think I'm going to U-turn. I think I have to U-turn. I have to U-turn, because if I Earthquake, I'm just not going to have enough damage off with this Flygon yet. I got to get a little bit more damage on the Venusaur. I'm going to go for the U-turn. He might just sack this thing. He's going to switch out. That's huge. That is huge that he switches into Venusaur. He goes into Venusaur. That is what I needed right there. That is what I needed right there. That was the play I needed, because now I get my Dragalge in for free. And Dragalge gets to kill something right now. That is huge. We just got to get a little bit more damage off on that thing. Perfect. Dragalge kills something now, hopefully. I just clicked Sludge Wave. I think I just clicked Sludge Wave. And his Venusaur does not want to take that. Again, we had this opportunity earlier with the Venusaur and the Dragalge. Sludge Wave does about 60%. I don't think Kyurem's living at this range. Kyurem is pretty low. I believe it's like 60%, so Sludge Wave should knock him out. Our play here is Sludge Wave 100%. Should do more than his Synthesis. So if his play here is to switch into Darmanitan, sack off Darmanitan, go to Kyurem. Kyurem beats us. He actually might have this. It's going to be really close, but I think he's going to have it because if he goes into Kyurem, if he sacks off Darmanitan right here, which is most likely what he's going to do, then Kyurem comes in after that, beats Dragalge, then Flygon comes in, and Flygon can beat... It can beat the Kyurem, but it's not... I can't beat the Venusaur at this range, but we'll see what he does. We'll see what he does. I mean, we are a full. Maybe we could live a hit from Kyurem. I mean, I doubt it. I really doubt it. So we got to live a hit from this thing and the Kyurem. But I mean, my play here is to attack. I mean, that's definitely my play. So we can't live an Ice Beam, so it's irrelevant. But I'm hoping he stays in here with Venusaur. He's gonna switch. He's gonna go into his Darmanitan. So Darmanitan is gonna go down. So we get rid of that thing. So Dragalge kills Darmanitan with Sludge Wave, and that thing goes down. And now he's gonna go into his Kyurem here, and this is gonna be close, man. This is gonna be really close. I feel like he's gonna be able to stall out our Flygon with Outrages, and I think that's gonna be that, to be perfectly honest. Unless on some miracle I can live this hit here, guys, but I don't think I can. So I'm gonna go for the Sludge Wave here. It's our only play, is to go for that Sludge Wave. He is gonna Ice Beam us here. This should do enough to knock us out unless he's not max special attack. You can see that HP bar drop. So Dragalge goes down. This is a close match, man. Kyurem kills Dragalge with Ice Beam. And now Flygon comes in. Flygon's my only play here, obviously. I click Outrage. I gotta click Outrage because I have to knock out the Kyurem. And I don't think Earthquake's gonna do enough. So I believe our play here is simply Outrage. Let me just see how much Earthquake does to Kyurem. I have to Outrage, so we are gonna Outrage. His play here is to just let this thing go down. If he switched into Venusaur, that's actually best case scenario, but I don't think he's going to. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. He's gonna stay in here, so Jet is gonna pick up the kill against this dude. So Flygon kills Kyurem B with Outrage. And here we are down to the last Pokemon here, guys. And this is insane because, I mean, my play's chosen. I picked Outrage already, so there's nothing I can do here. But I just want to note this. If we lose this match, we are going to be 1-4 with a -5 differential. That is ridiculous. -5 differential. That's such a small margin between each of our matches, man. That's so insignificant. But my hope here is that for some reason he doesn't synthesis and he's not as bulky as I think he's going to be, or we get some sort of insane crit. But I don't know if that's going to happen. So you can see just how little that does. We get the confusion on the second turn. All he has to do is attack us or synthesis. Yeah, he just synthesises a few times. And this is deja vu from last week, guys, where I just get beat out by a synthesis or a roost stalling Pokemon. So what are you gonna do, man? I mean, you could say that Metacham play was key had I went for Zen Headbutt or his high jump kick on the Darmanitan switch instead of the fake out. That could have changed the dynamic of the game because then I am able to keep my Metacham healthy there. That was one of those plays. It was a 50-50. I went with a safe play there, and it cost us, I guess, the match. I don't know. I don't think I played bad. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm playing bad at all this season. I think I'm actually playing relatively decent for the most part, but we are going to go down. You can see just how little that Outrage is going to do, so we don't have any way to beat this Venusaur. We're going to live on 2 just to spite me for a few more turns here, and I need the super crit right now from this Outrage. I don't even have to pick my moves the last 4 turns. It's just is what it is. So Venusaur's going to knock us out here, or we're going to die to confusion, one of the two. So, okay. So Venusaur kills Flygon with probably Giga Drain. Yep. All right, guys. There it is. What are you going to do, man? We lose 1-0 to Nick SuperBlah with his Venusaur at the end there. Again, I feel like we played pretty well, man. I think actually we played really well, but what are you going to do, man? He played a little bit better, or one of the two. I'm not sure. You know, it is what it is. We got that nice little poison on there. He got the freeze hacks on our Ferrothorn, making that useless. It's a game of luck. It's a game of skill. It's a game of prep. What are you going to do, man? Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. My name is Dan. I'll go by aDrive. I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.